Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to day 3 of the Mindful Holidays 7-Day Challenge for Less Stress. I'm Jessica Kirschner, and today our theme is mindful movement, supporting your body to support your mind. We've spent the past couple of days cultivating awareness through stillness. Now we're exploring awareness in motion. This practice is less about stretching deeper or achieving perfect form, more about paying attention to your breath, to the sensations, to the energy as you shift from posture to posture. You can think of it as, like I said before, meditation in motion. As you move your body, stay curious. Notice, how does your body feel? What emotions surface? Where can you soften? And where do you feel steady? Move at your own pace. Take breaks anytime. I'll offer modifications along the way so you can adapt each posture to your body. And just keep in mind, you do not need any special equipment for this practice. You can use the floor that you have accessible to you, whether that includes a yoga mat, a carpet, or hardwood floor, wherever you are. If you would like any props, please feel free to grab those. But like I said, we'll make modifications along the way. The most important thing is to listen to your body. If something doesn't feel good, slowly come out of the posture. This is your practice. Move as needed. Let's begin. We are going to start our practice on the floor. So like I said, you don't need any extra props. I personally love props, so I always have my blanket and I have some blocks, but like I said, whatever you need. I just like a blanket underneath my hips a little bit because my hips are always super tight. So if you have tight hips, I recommend putting something underneath just for a little elevation and let your hips slide forward. So you'll kind of have this, just a little bit of elevation with your hips, and then your knees slightly will angle down. But find a position, a seated position that feels good for you. If you can't cross your legs, that's okay. But just take a few breaths here, softening your eyes. Feel your hips rooting towards the earth. Draw your chin in just slightly and feel as though there's a string pulling you from the top of your head all the way towards the sky. Feel the vertebrae stretching out, drawing your navel in. Inhaling and exhaling. Next, inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, let them float back down. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, drop your right arm, gently reach left arm overhead. So I want you to think about opening your side body towards the sky. Tune in. What do you feel here? Do you feel the side body stretch, maybe from your hip through the armpit? Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale to the other side. Try to gaze up past your upper arm if that feels okay on your neck. Again, noticing, what do you feel on this side? Try to breathe. And then inhale. Exhale, elbows go wide. Inhale, up. And then exhale, hinge forward over your legs. Crawl your arms out. Let your head reach towards the earth. Try to keep your hips rooted into the earth. Draw your navel in, and then walk your hands over to the right side. Try to keep your left hip down. Do you notice a gentle stretch in your lower back? And then walk your hands to center, over to the left side. Allow your right hip to ground into the earth. And then draw your fingers, walk them to the center, and then just walk your hands back. Again, if you can't sit in this posture, you can extend your legs out. I would probably then recommend putting something under your hips, wherever you are, so you can keep your legs crossed. Inhale. And then this time, exhale, you're going to take your arms to that right side. We're just taking a gentle twist here. So draw your navel in. You can gaze over your back shoulder. So your spine is elongated. You're continuing to breathe. Only go as far as what feels good for you. Send the breath all the way through the spine. And then inhale, come back up. And then exhale, let's take it to the other side. Draw your navel in. Does one side feel a little different than the other? Possibly. We're not always even on each side, and that's okay. And then inhale, arms sweep to sky. And then exhale, come back down. All right, so we're gonna draw our knees in. I want you to take your feet about hip width apart. Your hands can go back behind you and just let your hips sway from side to side. I'm gonna actually move my blanket. Just feel how the spine is moving. Be gentle. You might be really stiff if it's in the morning, or maybe you've been seated all day. My bones are making all kinds of noises. And then we'll go ahead and just come to our hands and our knees. And I always like some extra cushion on my knees. So your hands are going to be shoulder width apart, wrists underneath shoulders. I want you to spread your fingers super, super wide so you feel the earth on all 10 fingers. And then your hips, are shoulder width apart as well, or I should say your knees are hip width apart. And then just finding a long spine here, again engaging your core. And then we're going to drop our belly, gaze up, inhale. Exhale, round spine, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, drop belly, gaze up. Exhale, round spine, tuck chin to chest. So moving through cat and cow. Just moving through these two postures. This is one of my favorite postures to wake up the spine. I do this every morning and almost every night before I go to bed. I like to take some gentle stretches before I go into bed as well. And then just allow yourself to move. Maybe you make some circles with your hips. Just give yourself permission to just move as your body feels called for a few rounds of breath. And then we'll eventually come back. And if it feels okay, I want you to curl your toes under and just gently push your hips to heels. Feel that stretch on your feet. Keeping our feet healthy. And then slowly come back up. Uncurl your toes. Maybe you gently give them a little shake. And then from here, keep your hands hip width apart, curl your toes back under, push your hips up and back. So if this is your first down dog, I want you to come up and then you're going to push your weight back and then extend your weight back. Extend your legs. So oftentimes, if you're new at this, we just kind of come straight up and we're here. I want you to push your weight back. So you can bend one knee and then the other walking at our dog. This posture lights up a lot of different muscles. So you should feel maybe a stretch perhaps through your glutes, your hamstrings, your back. Let your head hang super heavy. And then exhale, knees come back down. So if you felt any discomfort in your wrists, one option is to actually make fists with your hands and then come back up. It just takes some weight. My favorite is just to use blocks. If you have them, you can place your hands. But let's do that one more time. So curl knees or curl toes under, lift knees, extend legs. And then this time, see if you can find some stillness. Your heels are reaching towards the earth, so they don't have to touch the earth. They don't have to touch the ground. That's just an aesthetic thing. We're all truly made differently, and sometimes we just don't have the natural flexibility in our feet. So not everyone's heels are going to touch, so don't worry about that. But I want you to press your weight away from your palms. Feel your hips shift back. Let your head hang heavy. And then just put a nice big bend in your knees. We're going to walk all the way to the top of your mat. Feet are hip width apart. You can bend your knees as much as you need. Grab opposite elbows. And just let your head hang heavy. Feel the vertebrae in your spine, in your neck. Feel that elongation. And then release your arms. Your knees are bent, and we're going to roll one vertebrae up at a time. Your head is last. And then we're going to come to our Tadasana. So breathe through any lightheadedness. Your feet are hip width apart. I want you to find your yogi toes if you can. So you're going to lift your toes up, spread them as wide as you can, and then just let them soften into the ground. Don't try to grip them. Our feet are often smushed in our shoes. So this, if you can, really helps to create that balance in our bodies, our natural balance, by being barefoot or keeping your socks on, whatever feels good, but try to stretch those toes out and feel how much more sturdy, how much more grounded you feel. Can you find that string that pulls you long and tall? Allow the energy to flow through your heels. Allow that energy to flow down through your fingers. Draw your chin in. Full in breath. Full exhale. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, lean over to the right side. Option to keep feet hip width apart, or maybe you want to draw both feet together. So we're here once again, side. Gaze up past your upper arm if that feels good. We're just going as far as what feels good for you. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lean to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, drop one arm, and then let the other come across. Again, opening our chest towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, open elbows 90 degrees. And then let your arms come down. And we're just going to find our Tadasana one more time. Hands, or feet rather, are shoulder width apart. I'm going to fix my microphone as you take a few rounds of breath here. Just tuning into the body. And then inhale, sweep arms up once more. Exhale, swan dive over legs. Bend your knees. You're going to plant your palms and step your right foot back. So we're coming into a low runner's lunge. We're going to drop our back knee. Again, you can grab that blanket if you need to. I like using extra protection for my knees, especially in this posture because of my kneecaps. So your knee is over your front ankle. We're going to inhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale your arms back to the floor. And then just see how this feels. So I want you to create some space between the front leg and the back leg. Maybe you create a fist if that feels good. Maybe you need your bolsters here. But feel that elongation, that stretch through the inner thigh. Noticing any sensations. Maybe noticing how your hips feel. Take a round of breath. And then we'll slowly plant our hands. And then we're just going to take our leg back to meet the other. And then from here, we're just going to kind of help our foot to the front. You can take any modifications you need. If you are a more advanced practitioner, then you can move through your vinyasa if you'd like. But now that you have the other foot in front, we're going to inhale, come up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release hands. Send both legs back to meet one another. And then as you exhale, you're going to send your hips back to your child's pose. So just pausing here. Option to take your knees wide, or perhaps you'd like to keep them together. That's just personal preference. Maybe you feel a different sensation whether your knees are together or wide, but I want you to walk your fingertips out in front of you, elongate, extend your arms. Your forehead is reaching towards the earth. We're all going to look a little different in this posture. Maybe you feel that gentle stretch through the glutes, through your lower back. Just taking a round of breath here. And then we'll slowly come back up. We'll come to a seat. And then we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. I'm going to find my blanket once again. So if you're curious, so you can see. So what I mean is that you want to take a blanket just kind of to the edge, just underneath kind of the lower side of your butt cheeks. And then it just gives you a little bit of a lift. So to me, it makes all of the difference. But however you like, you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. You can rest your hands on your ankles, your feet. Find that long, tall spine. Maybe this is all you need. Maybe you start to feel that stretch in the inner thighs. Or maybe on your next exhale, you slowly let a gentle fold over your legs. Another option is to use your elbows and let them press into your calves for a gentle stretch. Just taking a few rounds of breath in this posture. And slowly inhale, come back up. We're going to help our knees in. And then let's find that gentle, just swaying back and forth. I used to say window wipers or window shield wipers. I don't know, my students in my yoga classes used to comment on how weird I would say it. So now I just say, let your knees fall side to side. And then we'll come back. And then we'll slowly allow our spine to soften against the mat, rolling all the way back. Let's take a long stretch. So extend your legs, extend your arms, reach through fingers and toes. And then bending knees once again. We're going to take one ankle over opposite knee. So figure 4. Again, this posture, this might be a deep enough stretch for you. So you can pause right here. If you're looking for a deeper stretch, take your hands behind and draw your knee towards you. I want you to see if you can keep your foot flexed. That helps protect your knee. So breathing into the space, send the breath down into the thighs, into the hips. If you notice any discomfort, just breathe through it. Try not to grasp on. If you feel any sharp pain, I do want you to come out of the posture. But if it's just tight and discomfort, uncomfortable, try not to judge that discomfort. Try not to judge yourself for being tight. And then we'll slowly release our legs, taking any gentle postures as you kind of reset. And then we'll switch to the other side. Find whatever works for you on this side, maybe drawing the opposite leg in. Again, extend or flex that opposite foot, protect the knee. See if you can rest your shoulders and your neck on the ground. Breathe into the space. You're taking this time to nurture, to slow down, to stretch the body, to open the body. This is just as important as stillness. And then slowly release. You can take your feet about hip width apart if that feels good. Let your knees fall into one another. Just taking a few breaths. Maybe one hand is on your chest and the other is on your stomach. Inviting in a sense of gratitude for showing up, for taking this time out of your schedule. You can remain here as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for coming to this practice with me today. I look forward to hearing how you feel, what resonated. Continue to show up and gently move your body throughout this week, throughout the season, and beyond. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon again.